I don't like talking about myself, but I feel like this is a freebie. I feel like this is just like an important chinuch concept. I was walking with my son on Shabbos, and I randomly said to him, he said, you know, you're so amazing. You never do anything wrong. And he was about 10 years old. He looked up at me and he said, no, Ta, I do bad stuff all the time. You just don't look at me as bad. And I think that that is the main job for the parent, is that don't allow your child's bad behavior to convince you that he's bad, and to convince him that you look at him as bad. They do bad stuff all the time, but it's normal to do bad stuff. So if you normalize it and you deal with it and you don't freak out, so then the kid feels like my parents like me, right? And that's what he felt. And if you yell and scream about everything or anything and you overdo punishments and and there's a tug of war, they're never going to feel that. This emotional stability is more important than anything. That a kid knows that my father and my mother don't look at me as bad. Because if they feel that you look at them as bad, then that destroys them. Why should they try to be good? If they feel like my parents who love me, and they're my parents, right? You're the most powerful people in their life, and you think I'm bad. And we have sometimes 8-year-olds who have that feeling from their parents. That's not chinuch at any age. It's never about making the person feel that they are bad, because you can't build people by breaking them down. And we know that from Yaakov Avinu. Even Yaakov Avinu, who was not going to freak out, he never sinned. And he's talking about, Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, the Shiftei Ka, who were the biggest Gedolim in Klal Yisrael, the only Gedolim in Klal Yisrael, the holiest of the holy, the Shiftei Ka. And on his deathbed, he tells Shimon and Levi, Ar apam ki az, your anger is cursed, not you. But you have an anger, you have like a pimple. You have a part that you need to go work on. Go to anger management. You're great, but you have an anger issue. Your anger caused this problem. Not you, you're not bad, right? We got to be very careful how we treat children, that they should never don't make a dent in them. That's not part of chinuch. And you have to learn how to boost while you teach and discipline and all of that, because that's a teaching moment that they'll remember for the rest of their life, but not to damage. And that's what Rabbi Yitzchak Zilberstein Shlita writes. He says, the main point of chinuch in our dar is loy lekalkel nefesh hayeled. Don't damage the nefesh, the emotions of a child. That's somebody who's from the last generation, who's a zakein, the older person, right? The tzaddikim always understood little children and understood our dar. He says our dar is different. People 40, 50, 60, 70 are scared to say it. Say, oh, what changed? What changed? When I was a kid, all the Gedolim said, this generation, things changed. There's no hitting. You can't scream. You can't shake somebody's. You see them that they're broken. They're not dealing with it like we did. That's a reality. Don't break your kids. And he says that the main thing of chinuch is loy lekalkel nefesh hayeled. Wow. Because whatever you were trying to achieve when the kid was 4, 5, 8, they didn't put the stupidity stuff, that we're trying to, it's really stupid in the grand scheme of things. They could end up damaged. So now they're walking with a limp the rest of their life, feeling that I'm not good enough. Whatever you're going to do in the tzad of chinuch, which you should be careful about, never, ever, ever do it in a way that makes them feel bad about themselves. They could do something bad. We also do stuff that's bad, but they're not bad. They themselves are not bad. They're yummy, delicious, they're a gift, they're beautiful, they're amazing, and you can't let their bad behavior wear you down. So whatever you're doing in discipline with the small daichat, never forget that it's never to hurt them, because they get hurt long term now. It's like they're fragile, that's the bottom line. It's Niskatnu Adaris. It's a fragile dar. Even adults are fragile. We have Rabbanim who are saying that they can't just give Musar to the people who are adults. Everybody's fragile. Reb Shmuel Birnbaum, Zatzal, the Sar HaTorah of America, we could say, who was born in Russia, Poland, I don't know, pre-war. And he said to Ramosha Tov Yalif Shlita, 50 years ago approximately, maybe 40 years ago, I have the dates written down, he said that things changed here in America. He says, you think that I can go ahead and give Musar straight on to somebody? No. And he was talking about the Kol Jungelite in learning in the Mir in Brooklyn when the place was teeming with people. There wasn't room. There weren't seats. These guys were steiging, the strongest people in Klal Yisrael, right? He said, anything I want to say has to go around, about, very careful, because you could see that people are not as strong as they used to be. He said, it's something with the dar. Efsher atzabrach nadar. Maybe it's a broken-hearted generation. See, he noticed this 40 years ago. There was cracks in the veneer, cracks in the exterior, and he noticed it. And he said, don't, like a lot of parents are like, I'm going to head on, I'm going to make him tough. No, that can do damage. Lo lekalkel nefesh hayoled. Make sure your kid doesn't think that you think that they are bad.